Hey everybody, what's going on? Today we're going to take a look at Weapon Trial 3. The Weapon Trial dungeons start to get pretty difficult as you go along, and they get pretty involved. So I'm going to show you how I've sorted out my Weapon Trial 3. I'm still making progress, by the way. I think this is going to be stage 7, and this is going to be the strategy that I continue to use to progress. So if you want to take it and try to apply it to your account and your progression, we'll talk about how my champs are set up after the run, and then maybe some potential substitutions for some of the other champs. All right. So this one, the big things are that this boss spawns turrets that will do damage to you, and then it gets a big physical shield, and you have to be able to break that shield, or you're going to take some really devastating damage. It's going to be really hard to manage if you can't deal with that shield. So for that reason, as much as I love Nungal, she's not really going to do much for us in here because she does magic damage. So when the shield goes up and we need it down, she can't really do much for us there, which is unfortunate because I love this champ. She is definitely one of my favorites to use, but she can't come in here. Anana is another one that for your healer, it's a little bit more dangerous to bring because when these bosses kill summoned units, they get extra turns, and that gets real hard to deal with as well. So I'm using Gloria. I've got Fake Hal in here. We've got Cole in here. I'm using Garcia as my second assassin. And we'll talk about the double assassin thing in a minute. And then I'm using Angel as my healer. Really, we'll talk about substitutions after, but any good healer will do there as long as it's not a Nana with the summoned units, okay? So what we're doing is we're gonna push up on the boss. Cole and Garcia are gonna deal with the turrets. We're gonna have them move around and deal with the turrets and do damage to the boss when it makes sense to do it, but we're not gonna put ourselves out. We're not gonna try to rush through this. That's one of the big things about the weapon trials is being patient with the run, using your tactics, using your backtracks when needed as you're learning. So I'm just gonna walk you step by step through this run and talk about the thought process and how to approach it. And then again, we'll take a look at everybody at the end. So the first thing we got to do is get this turret out of here. Turrets are kind of your top priority when they're up. In order of importance, I would say turrets, physical shield. I mean, turrets and physical shield are close, but one or the other, and then boss damage, right? You take boss damage when you can, when it makes sense for you. So Garcia's got pretty good movement at the beginning. If you're using someone else, it might not be a bad idea to go ahead and use March Command. I'm going to go ahead and use it just to ensure that everybody can get up into position. Because like I'm going to need Angel to be able to get up here and do some heals and stuff. So I'm going to take... You know what, actually... Can Garcia do it? Garcia can do it with an auto attack. We're going to go ahead and do it with Garcia. With an auto attack. And then we're going to just pull Garcia... back up here, perhaps. Her back's to the boss, though. You want to try to keep that from happening if you can. I was hoping she'd get another step and be able to come up here. We'll leave her here for now. It's not that big of a deal. For Fake Hal, no, that's Cole. For Cole, basically we want Cole up in the mix, but in good enough position to be able to move around to get turrets, because sometimes turrets are going to spawn up here, and Fake Hal can help. Sometimes there will be a turret, I think that goes like right here maybe. And Fake Hal can move over here and hit it with a special attack. But you want to make sure that you keep your units in a position where they can get where you need them to be able to get. All right, so I'm going to put Cole, I think, here for now. This should give Cole access to everywhere we need Cole to have access to. And we're just going to stand by. Again, do not rush it. That's the big thing is you want boss damage real bad, but it'll happen. The more important thing is to keep your units alive, okay? So we're just going to leave Fake Hal right there. And then Angel. Now, if she can get here, I don't think she can reach Garcia from here. So Angel's going to have to go here. And we need to heal up Garcia because Garcia potentially is going to take another hit here. I can't actually remember who the boss targets on the second hit. With Gloria's next turn, we're just going to come on up. She's got full energy, so we can go ahead and drop a smack here. But you do want to make sure you keep an eye on your energy pools, because when that shield goes up, you got to get that shield down. All right, it's going to be real bad news if you don't get that shield down. So again, pretty big hit there. Fake Hal with the counterattack. We've got a 3 turret summon here. So Garcia, we're going to pull back over here. Take one out. Because now they're our top priority. And they'll do damage to the boss, which is nice. And then I think I'm going to let Garcia sit right here. I think she's going to sit here. Now, Cole, when Cole gets a kill for this first time, she's going to get another turn. So we're going to try to get this kill here. And then move around and kill that other turret. And then if we can get back up into position to do something else interesting, that'd be great. But we'll do what we can. We'll take what we can get here. I'd love Cole to get right here. But we can't quite make that happen. So let's just bump up here. That's pretty good positioning, I reckon. And then we've got decent energy. But I think I'm going to just go with another basic attack. And we're going to stand there. And then only Fei Cal needs a heal. So Angel's going to drop the heal. We are going to do another basic attack. Not going to push it. We'll just hang out there. So now we've got a shield and a turret. Okay. So we're going to kill this turret with Garcia. We're going to bring Cole up with a big attack. Get as much damage into that shield as we can because we really need to try to get that shield down. And then Fei Cal, we're also going to use a stronger ability. And we popped the shield, so we've dodged the danger. We don't really even need to cleanse here. Cleanse or heal. So we're going to just let her stand here and get a little energy. And then Gloria is going to... She's got full energy. We can go ahead and drop a bigger hit here if we want to. Now we're going to take a hit. Now that would have been way worse if we didn't break that shield. That would have been unmanageable if we didn't break that shield. So now I think what I'm going to do... We have a turret that Garcia can't reach. It's just the one turret. So I think what I'll probably do is just let her stand here. Now Cole can't reach the turret on her own. So I either have a decision to make. Well, I can't use March Command. All right, so I guess what I have to do then is I have to hope that Fei Cal can kill this turret in one shot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let Cole do some damage here. We're gonna substitute Cole's damage for that. And we're gonna bring Fei Cal over here and hope we get a good crit and can kill this. And we did. GG. Now, it would be nice if she could reach more. I think let's drop an AoE heal here. Wait, why isn't she hitting Fei Cal? Oh, does she only do it forward? Is that AoE heal only forward? No, what's going on here? Oh, she has to target someone else. I see. No, she can target herself. Oh, okay, sorry, little weird brain fart moment there. we got it figured out. For a second, she wasn't doing what I thought I knew she did. I was like, what is going on here? Again, full energy. We'll take a bigger hit here. Pretty good hit. Looks like we chose the right targets to heal. And now we've got a turret, but we've got Garcia over here. That's why we keep her in the area, right? Because turrets like to come up here. Sometimes turrets go over here. And we want to make sure she's never too far out of position to be able to deal with these turrets, okay? Now, what's tricky is she's out of position for a heal. So if we end up having to use a backtrack here, we will. But what I think I want to do is I'm going to leave Cole here. I'm going to let Cole do another hit. We're going to put Fei Cal back where he goes. Drop a hit. I'm going to bring Angel down into the middle and see if we can get another good AoE heal on everybody here. And hopefully that's enough. And Garcia is safe over there. we'll go, we can afford another big hit here. And the boss's HP is getting low, but we don't want to get overzealous, right? We don't want to overextend. Unless we know we're going to be able to get the kill before it's all over, we want to be careful. So now we're in a position where no one has a shot at reaching this except Garcia, right? She's also got this. Let's go ahead and just use this on her real quick. Give her a little heal and a little support. We do have March Command. Now, Cole should be fine. Cole and Fake Hal should be fine to take care of these. So I could use March Command just on her. It's kind of annoying, but it still doesn't get her to the turret. That is unfortunate. I thought that was going to give her more. Okay, then, man, that's a bummer. All right, I guess we have to move her over here for the next turn then. I don't even think she could reach it with her range attack. So now, yeah, we're not gonna be able to kill the boss. So we're gonna have to come around. Did you just kill? No, maybe with high ground? Even less damage from high ground? I think you're gonna crit though. I'm a little confused about less damage from high ground. I'm not really understanding why that's happening the way it is. Let's see if we can get a crit. I'm pretty sure Cole should get a crit here and get this kill. Yeah. And then Fake Hal, we're gonna have, oh, Cole gets another shot, never mind. So Fake Hal has pretty good energy. We can drop a big attack here. And we are gonna heal just ourselves. Took a little hit from the turret, not the end of the world. In a perfect scenario, we don't take any hits from the turret, but it's late enough in the fight that we're gonna be fine. We do have to break this shield now. So we'll go ahead and kill this turret with her. And then if we get an opportunity, we'll bring her back a little closer to the fight. Let's keep her out of range though. It's a big shield. We gotta break the shield. Let's say Cole. We gotta break the shield. I think that in this instance, the shield has to be the priority. If we're wrong, we will backtrack. She might get the kill here, actually. All right, it worked out for us. The turrets ended up not being a problem. Anyway, that's the general approach to the fight, though. Okay, you need some roamers that can deal with the turrets. You need good physical damage to get through the physical shield so that you don't take massive AoE damage when it breaks. And then you need a good healer / cleanser that's not Inanna to sustain your team. All right, so let's talk about the units I use and how they're set up, and then some potential substitutions. All right. So with Gloria, I've been going back in my units a little bit and using my Castalias just to try to experiment with some different skills with them. I figure it might not be the most efficient thing to do, but as a content creator, it lets me play around with a little bit more stuff and figure out stuff. So damage reduction is a big deal in here, right? We need to mitigate damage at every turn, every opportunity we get to mitigate damage. So we've got front defense. She's pretty much going to be standing there facing the boss for the whole fight. Occasionally, maybe you'll have to pull her back a little bit to take out a turret, but for the most part, she's just standing in front of the boss. So front defense damage decreased by 30%. Huge, right? You saw Gloria was never really in any danger. She was never really in any trouble. We have her breast here. It's a great skill for her to have across the board. Pretty good damage. We gave her a leader's aura. I'm learning that leader's auras are a lot stronger than I was giving them credit for. So we tried out her leader aura, and it did her a lot of good. And then we have this skill in, but we're not using it. Okay, you could give her. You could consider giving her counterattack mode. This is also probably not a bad idea. I probably, for that fight specifically, could have swapped this in and reduced the attack of the boss. So probably not a bad idea, right? But either way, that's how we're set up on her. The big thing for her is the front defense, and I think the leader aura is really helpful, but the big thing on her is front defense, all right? And then for her tarot card, I have Redemption of Judgment. At the end of the turn, dispels 2 buffs from an enemy. This is pretty handy in all the weapon trials, honestly. I think anytime you can strip buffs off them when necessary, it's very helpful. So that's how our Gloria is set up. Also, can I get her to bond 5 real quick while we're in here? I think I might be maxed out on bond right now. I'm at 2,000. Let's just dump it in her. Work on getting her to 5. I have a bond charm as well. We won't rush it. We'll worry about it later. So there's Gloria. For Cole, we also rearranged stuff. I think Void Stab is an excellent weapon for Cole if you have it. And then we took the crit card on Cole as well. We have Eerie Footwork. When healthy after receiving a single target attack, teleports behind the attacker. This is not really relevant for this fight. Neither of these are super relevant for the fight, really, so I don't think it matters too much there. Here we've got Flurry of Stabs, which is just an excellent skill. We have the Leader Aura for Cole as well. And then Ambush. When performing an active attack, if the target is unharmed, it deals 20% physical damage. When performing a back attack on unharmed targets, additionally inflicts no passive skills. So the turrets, in most cases, are always going to be unharmed, okay? So this is great. Ambush is really, really great for this fight in particular. I highly recommend that you add it to the setup, all right? Garcia, similar idea. Again, there are 2 roamers. Garcia, you have a pretty good array of possibilities here, because if you notice, she was pretty much able to do everything we needed her to do with her basic attack. So I don't have the Castalias to go in and unlock other skills for her, but like Battle Fever would be pretty helpful. And then this is also not a bad idea, right? It'll reduce the damage. She had low health a couple times, but again, was never in any real serious danger. So you could come back and rearrange this stuff, or if you haven't chosen me yet, take the damage reduction stuff. That makes it a lot easier for her to survive in there, okay? But again, took the crit card on her as well. And she has this, which was why we were able to do the solo heal once. Not mandatory, but again, little help for when she's like up on the higher stages and we can't get her back down to Angel to get a heal. Not a terrible idea to have something like that on her, right? For Feical, we also have the crit card. We have Eye for an Eye. When Feical is being attacked from the front or side by enemies who are not on adjacent tiles, initiates a strike back. Super helpful, right? Chip away damage at the boss. And sort of has a little high ground thing, standing in front of the boss where we keep Feical. There's like 2 spots where we'll move Feical as needed. One to deal with the turret, one to deal with the boss, so pretty handy. Here, just a pretty good attack. This one we don't need to worry about. And then at the start of the turn, if there are no enemies within a 2-tile radius, gains crit 2 for 1 turn. All just stuff to complement the damage. Angel's pretty much going to be hanging around Feical, usually within 1 tile. And if you're using Angel, he's getting the magic damage reduction or magic defense buff from her that we'll talk about when we get to her. So he doesn't need a ton of damage reduction stuff. He's got support pretty much glued to his hip the whole fight. So you can just do what you can to increase his damage and he should be fine, all right? And then we have, where is she? Angel. You see her gear is not even leveled up. You notice her heals were kind of weak. You could definitely invest in her a little bit harder, give her some stronger gear, and her heals would be quite a bit more substantial, which could be my problem in the higher stages, right? I might need to actually prioritize her a little bit, and I might be able to bump up through some of the higher stages. But for now, this is what we're running on her. You see she was sufficient enough, even with this mediocre gear. So as far as her skills go, we have Protection of Light. When hit by an active single target attack, the damage taken is decreased by 30%. Can be activated 1 time per round. Sometimes at the beginning of the fight, she'll get targeted depending on where you have her. So this can be really helpful. And then again, just load her up with heals, all right? It heals one target and dispels a buff. Excuse me. Heals all allies within 2 tiles and dispels a buff. At the end of the turn, heals the ally with the lowest HP percentage within a 3-tile radius. So just load her up with heals, all right? Give her the damage reduction card, load her up with heals. She's fantastic. Very easy to use, very straightforward. Solid option, okay? Now, as far as alternatives, Crimson Falcon is a game or a character in the game that it sets you up to have maxed, right? You have a 5-star Crimson Falcon. You've got some gear for her. She's also fantastic for this. She can be your other roamer if you don't have Cole or Garcia, right? Crimson Falcon. I've done this with Crimson Falcon too. I've made sure that it could be done with her as well. She's very good for this. She's very good. We've got Vital Guard that reduces her damage taken. She also has Flurry of Stabs and Ambush. Again, very, very helpful. Potentially more helpful, honestly, than Garcia for dealing with the turrets, because again, this is just a bonus. This is free bonus damage for the turrets, basically, because they're always going to be unharmed. And then Battle Fever. After initiating an active attack, the character takes 15% less damage, dealing a crit damage. Additionally, decreases damage taken by 25%. She'll be critting a lot if you set her up to crit. So there's a lot of damage reduction built into her. Again, arguably a better option than Garcia. I'm just riding hard for Garcia, dude. I'm just trying to keep Garcia in the mix. If you were going to build her for this, typical assassin gear, and give her the crit card, right? So that she can crit and proc all the stuff going on in her kit. So I think she's an excellent option for another roamer. Divine Grace, probably not a terrible option to stand in for Feycal. I've got a video on Divine Grace. Does pretty good damage. Again, I would not use Nungal. She does magic damage, so when the shield goes up, she's not going to be of any help to you there. Rawaya's cool, but I don't know that she has the movement necessary to be a roamer. If you don't have Gloria, perhaps she could stand in for Gloria and just be the one that's in the boss's face all the time. You've got, let's see. I love Flare. I think Flare is another good option. You can keep her in the mix, maybe up where Gloria is, and she could do some passive healing for the rest of the team. I think she's a pretty decent option for the fight. Other healers. I have not really looked at the other healers yet. I was gonna take a look at Nightingale, but I'm not sure if Nightingale has an instant heal at the end of the turn. She also has the damage reduction, less damage over time. Another instant heal. Yeah, she's probably pretty well. I don't see any AoE heals though. I don't see any. Maybe not her. Maybe not. You've probably got Angel. Just use Angel. There may be other options, but I haven't really taken a strong look at the other healers yet. But yeah, if you don't have Cole and Garcia, and again, honestly, even if you do, Crimson Falcon's probably a better option for this than Garcia. So I would probably recommend that you use her. Your life might be a little bit easier. And then if you don't have Gloria, I don't know, maybe I should try a run with Rawaya and see how she does as a stand-in. I feel like she would be really helpful in breaking that shield. She probably does way more damage than Gloria. So yeah, anyway, that's it. It's when you understand how to approach it, because this stuff can seem real difficult. It seems like the bosses are doing so much to keep up with, but when you break it down into here's the things that the boss does that I need to be aware of, here's the ways to deal with it, here's what type of damage I need to take. Like when you can break it down into a few different things like that, it's really not so bad. And then it basically just becomes a stat check and making sure you're paying attention, right? You have to sit down and give it that one solid run, but when it's done, you can then sweep it for the rest of time until it's time to try to move on to the next stage. So I hope this helped you. I hope this made it a little bit more approachable. If you're running any different units in there that you think would be helpful for people to know about, please drop some info in the comments. Again, I've only done what I can do with my account, but I know there's people that have a lot of different stuff going on than I have, and probably a lot of different takes than I have. So again, if you've got a different approach to the dungeon, you're using different units, feel free to drop all that in the comments. It would be interesting for me and probably very helpful for people who don't have an account that looks exactly like mine. So that's it. I'm getting out of here. I do hope it was helpful. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time.